What up, people? Coach V, New Breed Boxing. Here is everything you need to know about how to win your first fight, whether it's for boxing, MMA, kickboxing, even wrestling. This applies to all the above, and it's going to give you a good foundation to build from moving forward. I'm going to start this off with a quote, actually, from a rapper. And this quote never left me, and this is something I put my own version together, and I say it to my fighters before they go out. DMX was on tour. He wasn't a well-known rapper at the time, but his performances and his energy got him recognized. And he said before he went on stage, he said, I don't give a fuck if I'm first, second, third. When I leave the stage, the show is over. The show is over when you leave that ring. You're going to be the showstopper. You got to let everybody know who you are. The highest compliment I tell everybody is that the people in the crowd, especially the other coaches and fighters, when you leave that ring, they want to know your government name. So A, they know when to see you fight again, and B, they're going to want to make sure they're not on the other side of that ring with you, because you're going to leave such an impression that nobody's going to forget you. Now, just know this is not being braggadocious or being cocky, but you got to realize when you're going into full contact combat sports, especially like boxing, you get points for dispatching your opponent as quickly as possible. It's a merciless, ruthless sport, and it's not, it's not like sport karate, like little kid shit where you get punch somebody once and you break it up. Now you get beat down. So you got to be prepared. So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you've already done your road work, you've already done your sparring, you're in top shape, and you're ready to go. So here we go. This show is set, right? You got the date, you got the venue, you're in shape, you're ready to go. You're gonna show up to the event, and you're either going to already be matched, which is called pre-matching, which means your coach already spoke to other coaches and they found who they think is a good match for you based on your weight, age, and experience. Then from that point, if that wasn't the case, or if that falls through, which this happens a lot, pre-matches fall out the same day of the fight. So you think you fight one guy, and then you get there and you're going to be fighting somebody totally different. You think you're fighting a southpaw with 2 fights, now you're fighting an orthodox guy with 4 fights. You have no idea what can happen. Boxing is extremely unpredictable. So, with that being said, be prepared for the unknown. Just be flexible, be relaxed, be fluid mentally. Don't get fixated on any one thing, because people get a picture in their head and then everything changes and it throws them off their game. Don't let that happen to you. Just be ready for whatever, okay? Then, once you get matched up, they're gonna tell you the boxing, USA boxing officials, or whoever the officials are for the bout, they're going to tell you what bout you are, what fight you are. So say you're the 5th fight and there's 15 fights, okay? Once you know that and you find out who your opponent is, your coach will go walking around and try to scout him out, see if he sees him training, see if he sees any things he can pick up on. But that only gives you so much information. It's not going to make or break anything. Once you find out what number you are, see how much time you got. Usually once they get done with weigh-ins and all that kind of stuff, and they tell you what bout you are, you got an hour or 2, depending on where you're fighting and what's going on. Go take a nap. Go relax. Go find the quietest place you can go and put a towel over your head, put some headphones on, whatever, and just lay down, relax your body, chill out. Don't even think about nothing but just, maybe how you're going to walk into the ring and how you're going to stand. You can envision the fight, but don't stress over nothing. Or just blank out completely. But relax yourself. Then about 25, 30 minutes before the fight, I get my guys up, wake up. We start stretching out again. You're going to stretch out before you take a nap real quick, and then you're going to stretch out again when you wake up. And then we start doing a little warm-up, and then we're going to suit you up, and we're going to get you ready. And then we turn the warm-up up a little bit higher right before you go into the ring, kind of fluctuate, at like about 50 to 75%, about 10 minutes before the fight, and then 5 minutes before the fight, we start warming up hard, like we fighting, okay? Like I start doing the mitt work with you full speed, trying to hit you, all that kind of stuff. Try to wake you up. Then, once they call you to the ring, when you pop out, the judges are going to be staring at you from the jump. Forget the crowd, forget the hometown of the opponent, calling you a bum, all that shit. You got to block it all out. Now you're going to walk out. The whole crowd is going to see you, but more importantly, the judges are going to see you, the officials are going to see you, the referee is going to see you. You got to project nothing but confidence, not arrogance, not overconfidence either, but you got to come out with your chest out, your chin up, looking ready for whatever. Second, you step into that ring, you make eye contact with the judges, depending on how they're seated. Some guys like to do like a little bow at each corner, all four corners, look the judges right in their eyes, let them know you're here and you mean business and you're going to put on a great show and you're going to be a good sportsman. And then you're going to go back to, you're going to go to your corners. They're going to call you guys to the center of the ring. They give you some instructions. You touch gloves. When that happens, especially in the amateurs, these rounds are short and the fights are short. You don't got time to do all that Mayweather stuff. There's no feeling out process. The feeling out process is by getting right to it. You don't want to just rush in exchanging. You want to go in and out. You want to find that line in the sand, step in and out with your jabs. If the guy comes at you, with both hands, with two guns blazing, which is what I'm going to want you to do. But at the same time, you're going to have to feel him out a little bit, not, any more than probably about the first 30 seconds going by. You're going to want to make sure you've already established your jab right away. As soon as you make contact, you want to start popping that jab hard. But if you see opportunities for power shots, take them. But make sure they calculate a risk. Don't leave yourself wide open. You've got to be fast. Another thing is you don't want to stand still. Don't stand in one spot. It makes you look lazy. Stay moving, stay circling away from your opponent's power hand for the most part. Sometimes you can go left and right when you're out of range, but you want to keep probing in and out with that jab, which is racking up points, hustling while you wait. And during that time, you're going to be looking for single power shots. And then when you can get inside and land a combination, land a combination. I'm also going to want you to have some preset counters. Jabs are really easy to counter with the cross, depending on what stance your opponent's in. We'll go into that in another video. But you're going to want to try to counter every single jab with a hard, fast shot, whether it's with your jab or with a straight cross, whatever the case may be. And you can even time it to where you punch with his jab with a power shot. If you land a few of those, you can take the fight out of somebody real quick. And if not that, at the very least, you could shut down their offense for the most part and have them basically just playing defense and running from you. Now, don't touch the ropes. If you find yourself against a super aggressive opponent that does tag you and rings your bell a little bit, do whatever you got to do to stay moving on your feet and circling them. Do not touch the ropes. The judges look at you like if those ropes weren't there, you'd be on your ass or you'd be running away even farther. So touching the ropes is bad. This ain't the Rumble in the Jungle. This is a short, quick fight, and standing your ground and dictating the action is going to be what the judges are looking for. They score the fights on points scored, effective aggression, and ring generalship. Very similar to how they scored in professional boxing. Points scored is obvious. They used to score more on points, but now they kind of implemented effective aggression a little bit more. I think that's, whatever, that's just how they're doing it. Back in the day, a jab and a knockdown would be counted as the same 1 point. But anyway, so you want to be the one that's setting the tone and being the more aggressive person in the fight. The last 10 seconds of every round, you get the warning. They're going to click the thing, whatever, they're going to hit the ring, however they do it. Most guys that are smooth, they try to steal the round. They go for broke for that last 10 seconds with calculated risk, but they try to take you out in that last 10. If some guys come out and try to take you out the whole fight, but most guys start slowing down, get a little tired towards the middle rounds, the middle of the fight or whatever. First, second, and third round, I want my guys to try to land a big shot in that last 10 seconds. Try to stun them, even try to drop them if you can. That's just the way I like to have my guys come out. Leave a lasting impression at the end of that round, whether it's for because you landed one big shot, or because you were flurrying off, landing a nice fast combination or shoe shining your guy, you got him on the ropes, you're working him. You want to leave the impression at the end of each and every round that you dominated the round and that you're in control. In between rounds, listen to your corner, but keep your own instincts. Your coach is going to be telling you what he sees, but you also might see some things he don't see. So kind of balance out what you see with what you're hearing him say. And when that bell rings, I want you to be the first one up. Every time the bell rings, time in, next round started, I want you to get up a little bit before your opponent. Keep your eyes on him the whole time. You can listen to your coach, but stare at your opponent. That's what I like to tell my guys to do. Look across that ring, let them know. I mean, you can listen to your coach and look at him off and on. I personally like to do a combination of both. I think it's good to let them know that you're focused. And at the end of the day, when you stand up first, it makes you look more eager and more in shape. Because a lot of guys gas out, they getting off the stool all sloppy and slow. It doesn't look good. It affects the way the judges see the outcome. The third and final round, you really got to fight your ass off. I mean, honestly, I think you should be trying to, outperform this guy from the jump. I've heard people say don't worry about the first round. I disagree. Every round counts, and it's only 3 rounds. Sometimes it's 4 rounds. You got to win. In my opinion, you got to win every round. Robberies happen in the amateurs, and this is what I'm going to go into last. Regardless of what happens, when the fight is over, you go to the opponent's corner, go give his coach and his corner man a pound real quick, show some respect, and then go back to the judges, bow to every judge. That's just my personal way of training my guys. Make contact with the judges, let them know that you fought with, you fought your heart out, you fought with respect, and you fought, like a good sportsman, you put on a good performance. And when they announce the winner, don't be surprised if you get robbed. Yes, robberies are rampant in the amateur circuit. Some of these officials got gyms and fighters. It's crazy. It is what it is, though. This is the sport of boxing. Don't be surprised if you get robbed. Don't react. Don't curse. Don't flip out throwing shit around, because what's going to wind up happening is, as messed up as it sounds, I mean, if your coach sees something that's disputable, he grabs the scorecards, he sees some bullshit or whatever, you can fix it. If you got a good, smart, experienced coach, sometimes that can be done, but usually not. So don't overreact, don't get pissed off, because they're gonna remember that next time they see you. And once you get that reputation, you just don't want to have any bad blood with the officials and the referees, because ultimately they can just keep railroading you. It's as messed up as it sounds. If you don't win by knockout, they can just continuously rob you. If they don't like you and they don't like your coach and you got a bad reputation, it's definitely it's going to be remembered. So anyway, those are my tips on how to prepare yourself for the fight, before, during, and after, how to perform at your best, you know what I'm saying, and just leave that impression that there's no question about it. You're the one that was the better man that night. And hope you found this informative. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Go check out my Instagram, coach.v_. Till the next time, we out. Out.